Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this is a very special episode of Avillion and Brayden Talks for two reasons. One we'll get into later, but off rip, this is the first ever odd number episode of the pod on this channel. Now that we are no longer flipping on, doing I had evens, you had odds, now it's all here, so this is the first odd number on here. And he froze. Yeah. There it is. Yeah. That's definitely on my end. Like, this computer is...
It's fine.
Yeah.
All good.
One of these days...
Special episode, Brayden's computer is being special.
Become a member.
It's that kind of...
We had an era for a little while... Did it again. I'll just keep talking. We had an era for a little while where Jacob had to record everything on his end. There he is. Anytime it freezes, I'm just going to talk.
Hello.
But anyways, we did have an era for a little while where you had to record. You always had to record, and even if it was my week, it would flip. You would send it over on the drive. Because I was without my desktop for because that was right after Christmas. So I was without my desktop for over a month, 2 months, something like that.
I remember.
Yeah, but anyways, as always, we talked about him a little bit. Joined by the best fucking co-host in the game, Mr. Avillion Talks, Jacob. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. I just worked 100 hours this last pay period, so this paycheck in 2 days is going to be nasty.
Assuming it's bi-weekly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, not weekly. I did not work 100 hours in a week.
Yeah,
that's torture. No,
that's about what I've been doing. Yeah, dude, it's not the best.
Yeah. No, I worked
only
what do you call it? Only had Sundays off these last 2 weeks. I worked Saturdays and I worked Fridays. Because my off Friday is mandatory now. I've gone over that before, but I've also been putting in 6 hours every Saturday now. So
100 hours would be a week for me, but you soft, pretty little boy
you
over there.
Soft, liberal little sissy boys and your soft, girly hands.
That's I'll take my guns.
Just got done working a 30-hour shift at the job site. You wouldn't know nothing about that, liberal.
You want to smell what that work looks like? Come here. Come smell me. Sniff me. Get close. Let me smell the corporate life on you, boy. Let me smell those fragrances. I'm sorry. I could get carried away in that for forever.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, no, it's fun. It's fun to do. There's nothing else. There's nothing else behind it. I assure you.
No, it's just fun.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah,
it's the dichotomy of it all.
Yeah, that's all. Hey, settle down. It's just funny. There's no anything. I found out from my sister last night that my brother will be in town this Friday as well, and I was already planning on not working Saturday this week because I do have Memorial Day off. So I'm like, this will be the first 3-day weekend I've had in a while, and the last one I'm gonna have until 4th of July, which will be my last one until August, probably. So, I definitely won't be working Saturday this week. Probably still working Friday, but my brother will be in town, so I'm just gonna go to my mom's house Friday night, hang out with. Excuse you.
I was mimicking you.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Let's see.
I haven't even asked if my sister's gonna be here for summer. I don't even know. That's probably you got my mind going. I'm like, probably not. If I had to guess, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm getting my my IPC soldering certificate re-upped because I've been almost 2 years at the company now, so my certificate expires after 2 years. So I've been in class this week, and I have class for the whole rest of the week too, which is really cool because. The CIT who does the class, she will oftentimes just tell a story for half an hour in the middle of it. So I'm really not doing much of anything. I'm looking at slideshows and then I'm taking an exam and that's it. And the exam is open book. I've got a book next to me with all the answers in it. So it's just school basically, but with a cool teacher. So it's fine.
Who knows? Maybe I would have never dropped out if every class was like that. Yeah, I dropped out of school. I don't regret it, though. Here we go. It's flickering. It's fighting hard.
I'm in this bitch with TV.
There we go.
Hi, baby.
It froze on a really flattering image of you, though. Just nice big smile.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
So that was a good
When
one.
the last time you froze, you had your tongue out, and I was making comments about how sexy it was. Not this one, but somebody's poking her arm through the little chair hole. I think that's about it, though, as far as what I've been on. How about you, sir? The handsomest co-host in the game. What we doing?
Well, the boy is back in town. Fucking mutual friend Gabe, who has been on the pod before, has moved back to town.
Hopefully on the pod again next week.
Fingers crossed.
That'll be 2 special episodes in a row.
That would be 2 massive episodes in a row. Episode, I want to say 80 would be next week. But yeah. He's back in town. We're gonna go out for dinner tomorrow. Celebrating him coming back into town and getting a sweet internship he was excited about.
He did get an internship.
Shout out the boy Gabe.
With
we could have been here.
Right? I think Greg Kazar was his name.
I don't remember. I know he talked about him, but I didn't.
I think that's who it was. Either way, he had 2 or 3 rounds of interviews, and he got it. So good shit. That's awesome. And we found out just a couple hours ago. So
yeah,
hell yeah.
Very happy for him.
And his cat has not left his side since he's gotten back in town.
He was without Cat for a little while because he had brought it down during the Final Four for the NCAA for March Madness.
Yeah.
It just now came back to the Cat.
Yeah.
So that's
month
plus no Cat.
He missed him, and the Cat missed him too. He has not left his side. So per sources.
Yeah. But yeah. He's back. I'm trying to think. Well, technically, okay. So I think within this last week is when it actually happened. My parents finally closed on the house.
It is about damn time.
Closed both ways. Yeah, it's definitely about damn time. So yeah, end of the month, like I said last time. That one, the dates have already been known and set for a while, but everything official will be out. It was supposed to be this weekend, but it got pushed back to now next week. Next week. So that's the only Saturday I won't be able to work. I have to be here for the move.
Yeah.
I was told otherwise my stuff will be left behind.
That's not ideal.
Not ideal. But yeah, I am so looking forward to. I think I'm gonna buy a new desk as well. New desk and get like a little storage, not storage, but like I guess a shelving thing for all the consoles to have on the side, and just redo the setup. Get a TV over the desk as well. Just redo the setup and start like streaming like seriously again. Because I think since we had moved, the only stuff really was like there was like a couple sporadic streams, but it was really just the Pokemon streams.
Yeah. Which
progress has been made. So big time video coming out this week. The Symbiotic Titan too soon. 2.5 hour long. I think it's a great video. Per minute, I think it's on par with the Freaks and Geeks one, but that Freaks and Geeks one just had more content to go over, so it was like twice as long, which I liked more. But so Symbiotic Titan this week. I had to edit things around to get it to even be visible on YouTube, but it's out. And then I'm making really good progress now that I'm fully focused on the Pokemon Nuzlocke recap video. That video is going to be fucking awesome. Making a lot of progress. Next week is on the table. I don't want to promise it, but it is on the table. The week after that is the more likely one.
Yeah.
But if life comes, like 3 weeks is the latest. I think 3 weeks is the latest that video would come out. 2 weeks is the most likely. Even just this next week is possible. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. Currently my grandma is having surgery to remove like a benign tumor in her head.
Oh, okay.
Getting updates on that all day.
Yeah. It's not ideal.
Yeah. I think that's it though. That's pretty much it for me in terms of that. I feel like there was something I wanted to talk about, like as a
like
transition into just a longer
potatoes.
combo. But for the life of me, like once we hit record, I always forget everything I had. Like,
I don't think you brought it up with me before we started either.
yeah, it
So.
wasn't anything like crazy, but it was just like really what I was really hoping for was like Gabe being here.
Wouldn't that have been something?
And then we could just talk about like because he had just moved, I'm moving, you've moved a bunch. We could all just talk about moving experiences.
I mean, I can think of a couple. I don't know if I have any crazy ones.
I mean, it wouldn't even be like it wouldn't even have to pertain to just the move itself, but like being in a new area, returning to an area.
It kind of sucks sometimes, like a lot of the time. But also, Gabe was the first friend I made when I moved to San Antonio. So, some cool shit happens.
Oh yeah, eventually.
I do think often, like, what kind of person would I be if I never left Clarksville? And I do think I'm probably a better person now than I would have been had I stayed there. So I do think the experiences have shaped me in a good way. But I do think about it. So, like, I thought about it earlier today, I think. I was like, what if I was, like, still, like, 22 years old, but I'd never left Clarksville, Tennessee. Like, what path would I have taken? I couldn't tell you. I don't know, obviously. It's fun to think about, but it's not really worth, like, fawning over or whatever. Like,
yeah, I mean, having like thought experiments.
Yeah, it's nice.
That would be something that'd be fun for me to sit down because I've moved a bunch.
Right.
As thinking about like, I would like to think about what positive I've taken into myself from each area, like I could do. And one of the biggest ones would be living in Bahrain, living in like a country that it's pretty westernized, so it was able to be like not scary, quote unquote, for like a 9-year-old. I think is how old I was when I moved over there, but like still different enough to be like, okay, this is what like living in a country or being around such like the main predominant culture is something different from my own.
Right.
Taking that in. Trying to think what other stuff. Because South Carolina, that's when I was in Boy Scouts, and that's when I had a lot of good adult mentors there that I shout out Scoutmaster Bog, shout out TM.
My dogs for real.
It's my dogs for real. 2 stints in Texas, both San Antonio.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I lived here 1st through 3rd grade, moved away, came back freshman year of high school.
I lied. I think I did know that. I think you did tell me that like forever ago. Didn't you know somebody from elementary school that you met again in high school?
There was a couple kids I saw. I met because when I lived here the first time, had a best friend, moved back. We had a class together freshman year, and like we didn't reconnect as best friends, but it was cool to see him again.
Yeah.
The story. What I really talked about though is maybe I didn't talk about this in the pod. I don't know. I feel like I talked about it somewhere on the channel, but I don't remember. But I remember.
Hey, get up. Sorry, you go.
Just seeing somebody that like everyone bullied.
Yeah.
In like 1st through 3rd grade, everybody bullied this girl, and then like just seeing her coming back, and actually I think they might be. I don't know. It's not dead naming, but dead gendering. I don't know. Dead pronouncing them.
I mean, if that's what they were.
They were hurt. That's why they presented there, and then we moved back.
Yes.
And then now that I believe.
Yeah.
I don't even think I directly talked to this person, but just from what I overheard.
Yeah.
I think they I don't even know if they transitioned, but are trans, I think. And then I think that actually happened. I think there was 2 people like that. Well, one was bullied, one wasn't. One I remember being friends with, and I didn't recognize. I don't think they transitioned either, but I didn't recognize them at all.
Yeah.
Because they went from like very pink, heavy, like as a little girl, to like almost all black, and their whole vibe was different.
Yeah.
And like it wasn't until like because I had a class with them the whole year. It wasn't until the end of the year it clicked. I was like, oh fuck, you were this person. I never recognized you.
Yeah, I knew somebody in middle school. I knew somebody in 8th grade who they moved to Colorado, I think, after 8th grade, and then they also transitioned. And then I knew somebody who transitioned, I think, either after high school or like at the end of high school.
I knew somebody in 8th grade who they didn't transition, but I think they wanted to, or like that. Yeah. That's how they identified, because they had told their mom, and like they were, I don't want to say, I don't know if excited is the right word, but like I think relieved. I don't know, relieved. I don't know how exactly how they felt, but it was more positive than a negative feeling. Like it wasn't necessarily a scared thing, but it was like almost a giddiness of maybe getting it off their chest to their mother.
Somebody.
But then they told me, but they told me the worst way possible, because they wrote FTM. That's how they wrote it down and showed it to me, but the T was small, so it looked F plus M. And I thought they were trying to say they were. I think my brain was like, "Are you a hermaphrodite?" I think that's what I thought. And I was like so confused reading it. And they were like, "Oh, you just don't get it." And I was like, "No, I don't. What are you trying to tell me?" And then they told me, and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." But they told me. I mean, it's 8th grade. You know, it's like, hey, I don't know how people are gonna take this. I don't, how do I even express myself? But the way they did it was like the funniest way, like maybe the worst way possible in terms of getting the idea across.
I have a friend who actually has beef with FTMs on principle because he's bisexual. He has a twink boyfriend now. They've been together for a while. I like his boyfriend. It's really nice. But he met an FTM at one point, and they were like seeing each other for a while. And then eventually he found out that this person had a partner, and so like now on principle he just has beef with FTMs because of this one.
I don't think they're all cheaters.
I don't think so either. But I mean, also in terms of like, I had this thought after, of course, after Jane Remover's most recent album. I'm like, trans women make incredible music, just on average. Like I've never. Like generally speaking, everything I've ever heard from a trans woman musically has been awesome. Trans men don't make very good music, from what I've heard. So I have beef with FTMs now in terms of, hey, make better music.
Make better music.
Make better music, because MTFs have that shit on lock. I don't know what it is. Like
maybe every group that can be categorized in any way, they all just specialize in one thing.
It must be, yeah. And for MTFs, it's music, and for FTMs, it's cheating. I guess.
I wasn't gonna go. I was gonna go for a positive thing. I don't know what it would be.
I don't know what it would be either. I haven't met very many. I've only met I've only met a couple that I've known personally. I knew one in high school here after I moved here, and like I didn't know him super well, but he did seem really sweet. So I like, okay, kind, whatever. Maybe that's what they're good at. I don't know. Or maybe they're not particularly good at anything because that's not how people work. But
yeah, obviously, of course.
Yeah, but except MTFs, they are like there's something in the water or the estrogen, I guess, that makes them really good.
Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just the ones you've heard.
No, it's coincidental. It's like maybe I'm sure there are bad music. There is bad music out there.
MTFs can be bad at music too.
I haven't heard it yet, but if the day I do, where I will report.
Well, because maybe since it's harder for them to get recognition given everything. Like maybe the ones that are able to break through and be in a space you'd hear them, they just had to be that good to get there.
Well, and Hunter Schafer doesn't make music, but she has a great taste in music, from what I understand.
What does she do? Is she just an actress? I don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
I know everybody. A lot of people want her to be Zelda.
I think it would work.
I haven't seen her acting, but I would say because she looks just like Twilight Princess Zelda.
Yeah.
Which is not the Zelda I would want them to base Zelda off of, because she's very bland and there's just nothing to if they're gonna do a Zelda, they need to either do Skyward Sword or the Breath of the Wild Tears of the Kingdom Zelda.
Yeah.
Who she doesn't look like a 1-for-1 of. I mean, she could maybe she could still pull it off, but. Like I said, I haven't seen her in anything.
No, I'd be down. It's not like if they cast somebody other than her, I'm not gonna lose my fucking mind.
I had this thought because I had like a selfish. I was thinking on the one because Zelda is like it goes like Power Rangers, and then it's like Zelda in terms of like fandom stuff. And I had my when I thought about her casting, my brain like went into two directions. Because on the one hand, I want people to be able to do whatever they want, and this is the ultimate. This is the big one. I want them to do whatever, and one of my favorite things being like a movie that allows that would be awesome. Because hey, let people feel represented. Just show them that they can do everything else anyone else can do, and then also, but there was the selfish thought of like, I don't want drama around it. I just want people to be excited for it to just be a happy thing. That's the selfish thought. Ultimately, I would prefer it to be something, if it could be something even more powerful than base of what it is, like that's cool. But there is also the selfish thought of like, I really would prefer it to be able to do well so there's no needless, stupid boycotts and stuff like that. That's the selfish thought. But like I said, ultimately, like the one that needs to prevail is the letting anybody be a part of it because it's such a great thing.
Yeah. Hi, excuse you. She's playing with a ball right now. She gets it from me, I tell you. Anyway, what was that? Thinking about something else. Totally forgot. Yeah. So, what's the deal with airline food? Am I right?
What's the deal with airline food?
Let me tell you something about my ex-wife.
Now, what's the deal with peanuts? I gotta crush them to eat them? What's that about? 17? Well, that's close enough.
I like the fact that you're at least 18 years. I said I like that you're at least 18 years old. Shout out age of consent laws. For real. Hey, you know what? Yeah,
that's racist.
Yeah, like I was gonna say,
at this point,
who gets mad, move it to 19, just to see who gets pissed off. Just to see who gets pissed off. Who's gonna get angry if we raise it?
We need to stop infantilizing women. They can make their own decisions.
I'm fine. Yeah, well, it's my God. Have I ever talked about that on here before? How people go like it's horseshoe theory in politics. It's you go so far one way, you end up going the other way.
Yes. Well, I don't know if you talked about it here, but yeah. I mean, 100%.
Well, because there was this guy posted a picture of his friend who was jumping up in the air, clicking his heels together because his girlfriend had gotten an IUD installed. And the think pieces on this man clicking his heels in the air. That's all this picture was. It was him clicking his heels in the air. The think pieces from I'll just say rad femmes because I don't have any respect for these people. On like how awful he is for jumping in the air and clicking his heels, for being excited that he can have safe sex with his girlfriend without having to worry about, other things.
He gets to raw.
Hey, so I got a couple points here for you. So for one, women like raw sex too. This might come as a surprise to
I've heard that. It feels better.
Probably, but a lot of them are probably not into men, and some of them, I don't know, maybe they're just mean. But hey, in case you weren't aware, women also it feels better for them that way as well.
At least
everyone that I've ever had sex with,
at a minimum, some do, and his girlfriend could be one of them.
And look, at the end of the day, it's not like he held her at gunpoint and said, "You're going to get that IUD." Oh, yeah. Do women have agency or do women not have agency? Do you want her to make her own choices or do you want to infantilize her for getting an IUD installed and for her boyfriend being happy for it? You people are fucking miserable.
We don't know whose idea, who brought it up. We don't know anything else besides, hey, this guy's happy.
We don't know a single thing about how this came to pass. All we know is that it happened and that he was celebrating. Okay. Move on.
It's like the level of like, if a guy was excited his girlfriend was pregnant or is a mom or is a good mom or something, and they're like, hey, not all women want to be burdened down by a child. It's like, oh no one fucking said that. Nobody brought that part up. You brought that part up.
pulling shit out of your head, fighting fake demons over here. I'm sick of this shit.
Because it's
Y'all
like
got fake.
maybe they knew a guy who tried to pressure them into it. It's like, okay, that happened. That sucks. This isn't that. This is not that same situation. You're taking a bad experience you've had.
Did he do it? Like, come on.
That would be funny though, if it was.
Oh yeah, I promise. I was that fucking. Oh well, that does change everything. But yeah, just in general, like you said, we don't know a single thing about how that was initiated, whose idea it was, what the conversation was like. But personally, would I ever ask that of my partner? Probably not. Like, I wouldn't initiate, like, hey, do you want to get the Minecraft pickaxe up your coochie?
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't. No, that's not something I would suggest. But again, we don't know that he's.
I think most men wouldn't even like try to force it on their girlfriend. But even more so, I think very few could successfully even force it. I think most women would break up with them if they tried to force them.
It's a painful procedure from whatever. Getting an IUD is painful from whatever. It does hurt quite a bit. Which is, again, most of the think pieces were about he's celebrating the pain his girlfriend is in. No, dumbass. He's celebrating the fact that he gets to hit it raw. Which, mind you, once the pain's over, she'll be celebrating the fact that she gets to get hit raw. Because that's what led them to this fucking, like, again, you go so far one way, you're now arguing like fucking conservative rhetoric of women not being able to make their own choices because this guy's celebrating being able to hit it raw. Yeah. You've ended up agreeing with the people you don't like. I don't get it. Anywho, yeah, it's enough about horseshoe theory. Let's talk about my balls. So, Brayden, we've never discussed it on the pod before. I think you. Well, actually, I know I've asked you this question before. Are you a scratch guy or are you a pinch and roll?
Oh, we did. I think we talked about this in school. Like, I think this was
years and years ago.
I think this was a chemistry class conversation.
And you were like, I don't know about pinching anything down there. Was your response?
Yeah,
because I don't think you had yet discovered the pinch and roll.
Still don't pinch.
Okay, I'm glad we're
backhand scratch usually. Also, I don't get that itchy down there, and I'm not like insinuating anything. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm not saying like, oh, you must get itchy a lot if this is the thing, but I just usually backhand scratch it, and I'm good.
So when I do have one, I very carefully grab the outside, like just the outside skin somewhere, right, and then I roll until I get to the itchy spot, and then I just kind of roll it between my fingers like this, and it works. And a lot of guys do the pinch and roll. I'm a big proponent of the pinch and roll. The way I feel about the pinch and roll for the balls is the way I feel about the Oxford comma when you're writing. And you know what's really pissed me off lately? So when you type something into, when you want to make ChatGPT do something, it will often use the Oxford comma. And so now people are starting to say, oh, a good AI detection is if someone uses the Oxford comma. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm pro Oxford comma. I don't know if we've ever discussed it, but very pro. We discussed it in the group chat. I know we've discussed it in the group chat.
I think I've included it in a top 3 before.
Okay.
I think because it is.
What the fuck top 3 was that?
I'd have to think because I know we've done
pet
top
peeves. Like, was this pet peeves of people not using it?
It probably was because I know we've done pet peeves.
I don't think I knew what it was back then when we had that conversation.
One of my pet peeves probably was people not using the Oxford comma because it can change the meaning of a sentence if you read it the wrong way.
I think after that conversation, I Googled it and went, "Oh, I do that."
Because the second word in the sequence, instead of now being its own thing, could become a descriptor of the third word in the sequence. So now you've done fucked it up, Or like, see if I say, look at these orange, red, and blue fish. If I don't put a comma between the red and blue, look at these orange fish and these fish that are both red and blue.
Yeah.
Or these orange fish, these red fish, and these blue fish. It's not the same. You can read it.
Yo, Seuss, relax.
Here. All right. One bitch, two bitch, dead bitch, new bitch. That's how he felt when his wife passed. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, that new bitch actually came in earlier in the line.
I was gonna say he cheated while she was sick. I think. Yeah, this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Let's see what else.
Crazy pen game though.
Crazy pen. I mean, undeniable pen game. You gotta respect it. I can't lie.
The first fucking he made graduation was fucking he made green eggs and ham.
Yeah. So he made one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. He made cat in the hat. You gotta respect the pen game, Benjamin. But nah, like Oxford comma, it's important. I love it. It's got to be there, and I can't buy that it's good for AI detection. No. Some people just have respect for the art, for the art form. Yeah.
Also, it's just, I don't know, it's prettier. You're pairing up, you pair up words with commas. One gets an and, like, I don't know, just everything.
You put a comma there, you put another comma there. Instead of only one of them gets a comma, I feel like the other one feels left out now.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
100%.
I can't get there. And I'm very glad, at least when I was taught in school, I was taught with putting that Oxford comma there.
They said it was optional, and I think I just was like, fuck it.
Yeah. I'm gonna do my own.
I probably read one sentence that didn't have it, and it confused me because it wasn't there, and ever since then was like, let's just always throw it in there.
Well, and the vast majority of sentences, you will read it the right way, but why even take the risk that somebody's going to misinterpret your work? Yeah. Put it there. Put it there. Don't hurt nothing.
Hey, put it there.
Put it there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had something else on the docket. I don't quite recall where I was at with that, but that's okay. Francisco Lindor has a huge ass, just an absolute massive dump truck of an ass. He's got a fucking wagon back there, dude. I don't know how he fits that into his pants. It's that shit's enormous.
Custom pants, man.
He's handsome man. Huge ass. He's got three kids now, 3 daughters. Just has third recently.
Oh, I will say, so I made the hinge and put it in the area I will be moving to, and I've already scanned through everybody within a 20-mile radius. No matches.
Yeah,
I sent more likes than I sent more likes than not. Like I wasn't even like being ultra picky. Like I shot a lot of shots and came back fucking 0 for 30, but I'd rather go 0 for 30 than 0 for 9. So I think I'll wait to up the distance until I actually move there.
Yeah, I haven't been on Hinge in forever. Since we last discussed it, that was probably the last day I even logged in.
Good.
So I might just wait for you to move for me to even.
Yeah, I'll move. See the vibe for a week. Probably be out there for a week. Up it to 30.
Get it?
I almost wish, because it just goes radius, a circle. I almost wish I could be like, hey, I live here, but since I work like over here,
yeah.
If I increase the distance, I'd rather it just increase this one way.
I guess you could increase the radius and move the dot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, but that's just tedious.
Yeah, I get it.
Just be like, I don't know, custom circle. But
give me a fucking ellipse. You know what I'm saying? Maybe put an ellipse in.
I'll just circle around the one highway from my house to work, like right here.
Ellipse on this dick.
This area.
Yeah.
Anyways, there is a thrift store in town. I will just, for the first week, scope out, see if there's. I feel like the girls I'm attracted to are the types to thrift.
That's what I'm saying.
Scope it out for a week.
We and Gabe have in common. We do like our thrift store girlies, you know.
Well, because it's. I also just like to thrift. I mean, obviously I like the girls there.
Well, also, all three of us like to thrift too, but that's probably why we're attracted to women that like.
Well, I think I went there at first being like, maybe I'll meet somebody, and now I'm just like, well, I'm actually afraid to approach women in public because I don't want to disturb them, and now I'm just here thrifting. Oh, I like this.
Yeah, it's how I feel like every time. Like I don't want to like. I don't know. I feel like
I'm always like they're minding their business.
I don't want to make somebody uncomfortable.
I'm always like they're minding their business.
That's what I'm saying. Like, generally, a lot of people just don't want to be approached, and like that's totally fine. But
I don't mind being approached.
I don't, but women don't chase. It's mostly.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a problem. I'm a very anxious guy. Like I don't do well in like public spaces.
And they don't have to. Like it's not their fault. It's just like they.
Shit, if you don't have to, don't. Like, and if I didn't have to, I wouldn't.
That's what I'm saying.
So I don't blame them, 100%.
Yeah.
Plus, the proposition of a relationship or the early stages is just more dangerous for them. So obviously they're not gonna.
Yeah. No, I totally.
That's one of the reasons. Like, even with things trying to become more equal, I still don't mind paying on the first date because it's a bigger. What they're doing is a bigger risk than what I'm doing.
Right. I always pay on the first date.
Same.
That's always that's a method I employ.
Yeah.
And I think that reasoning makes perfect sense too.
That's how I rationalize it because
they are taking a bigger risk.
That's how I because I don't know because I do get lost in some ways of like what old school dating male female stuff do we keep and carry over, and what do we like? Hey, new age, we're equal.
If we're taking the same car, I'm opening your door for you.
Yeah.
I'm opening your door for you. That's just how it's gonna be. Well, same thing like if we're going to a restaurant, I'm holding the door open. I'm not gonna do the whole like grab the chair thing. I'm gonna let her handle that business.
We sit in a booth. I'm not even gonna let that question arise.
I do prefer the booth, especially like when I'm in a relationship. Booth, sitting on the same side. On a date, opposite ends. But booth, same side. I want to snuggle. I don't.
Fair.
Yeah. Baby.
Yeah.
Hey. Excuse you. Come on. Almost. Thank you.
But yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to
cut deep?
Cut deep?
Let's cut deep. Icebreaker.
Hi, Bowie.
Beer, wine, or cocktail?
Cocktail. I like wine.
Easy.
I'm not a beer guy.
I don't like beer. Wine can be okay, like a cocktail.
I like a really good wine.
Great name.
Yeah.
Cock.
Mm-hmm.
So
what's the difference between a cock and a tail? It's like the same thing. One of them's on the back of yours, one of yours is on the front of yours. It don't mean nothing.
What's the deal with cocktails? You want me to drink a what? I don't think so.
You said there's cock in that drink, sir.
I could taste the cock, but where was the tail?
I look like one of them queers tails, sonny. Yeah, not my. Beer's is not my thing. Not a beer guy. Deep.
Win the lottery, or have 10 years longer of life. Why? Well, I would need to know how long I live to answer this question.
Yeah, well, that would be. Yeah, there's a point of diminishing returns. Like if I'm already hitting like 90, I don't need 100. Okay.
No.
Well, and how much? Like, what lottery am I winning?
If I'm winning the big one.
Yeah, I'm taking that. I'm taking that.
That alone would probably add 10 years to my life already.
If I'm winning the Mega Millions, I'm taking that shit, no question.
Yeah, if I'm winning $1 billion lottery, I'll be adding 10 years to my life.
But think about how much of your life you're going to spend doing things you don't want to do if you don't have any money.
Right.
Versus how much more for like that is set for life.
I would not be working overtime. Like there would not be. That's already.
I wouldn't be working
that's already.
If I came into
roughly 30 hours every 2 weeks. That's 60 hours a month. I just got freed.
If I came into possession of like $500 million, I'm never working.
Yeah, I'm quitting my job. So that's another 8. That's another 100 and. You just caught the amount of time, and then the travel time for that as well. You just so much time just got freed up immediately.
So much is like you can see the entire world. At that point.
I was working with a guy. We were on overtime going to our job, driving over to what we were gonna do. And as we're driving over, he says like, you need to get a job that keeps making money for you, that you don't gotta work overtime. Overtime is wasting your life. I'm like, brother, we are both on overtime together right now. How the fuck are you saying this to me?
It's always like a coworker who's like at least a decade older than me who's like, don't do this forever. It's like, man, what the fuck are you doing here? Man, get out! You should have been out.
Yeah, but what's crazy about this guy? He always talks about how he's not financially dependent on this job. He has other businesses. He says. And it's like, brother, then what the fuck are you doing here on overtime?
I'm a street corner pharmaceutical salesman.
He does cars and he fixes cars and stuff like that. He says, it's like, brother, okay, fine. What the fuck are you doing here?
You know how much money mechanics make right now, brother? Like the hourly rate for mechanics right now, it's insane. If he's like that good at fixing cars, that's what he should be doing full time. Because mechanics.
And he's like, yeah, I had this job offer in Seattle for $140,000. Yeah, and we're like, stop fucking lying to me. This guy, he's known for telling just like the craziest tales, but some stuff hits in where I'm like, I think this one's telling the truth. He mentioned one about his son passing away.
Some of them have to be true for them to have that many. Like you can.
That's the fun part for me, because I definitely believe some of the stuff he said. He talked about having a son that passed away that he thinks his son's wife was responsible for. And I was like, I think this one you're telling the truth on, but this is crazy to just be sharing to me in our random like guide, because like certain buildings we have to have like an escort. He was really telling this other random guy, he wasn't even really telling me, the guy he works with sometimes. He was telling this random guy he just met about it.
Yeah.
Because that woman, I guess her like baby daddy got out of prison, and that's right when this happened. I was like, dude, the lore drops. We've talked about this before, but just the random ass lore drops. Like this one coworker I was driving with the other day, he's like, yeah, gotta be careful on those apps, dude. Black girl gave me herpes. I was like, what?
Man, it's always when they're in the middle of eating something.
Because they relax. They relax. Be careful.
Yeah, I had to shoot my own brother one time.
He's like 7 They say 7 out of 10 people have herpes of the mouth, so it's not as rare as you think it is. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Oh yeah, my what do you call it? So it's just a 2-person class for me right now because
let me just quickly finish the herpes. He said some more stuff. He was like, yeah, the doctor, they told me, he said he had herpes. Later saw my dentist. My dentist said he had herpes too. I was like, oh, I wouldn't want to know that about my dentist. While he's in my mouth talking about herpes. But yeah, back to
no thank you.
What you were getting at.
So I have in my class, it's just me and one other woman. That's it because it's people getting recertified.
Right.
So there's no new people in it. So it's just the 2 of us. And she's telling me she's about to move because she had a house with her daughter and her daughter's husband, and her daughter and her husband got divorced. And she was like,
probably because she was living there. I know that played a factor.
Well, no, he is also, like, she was saying, like, he's kind of insane. She was like, he doesn't work. He's very mature, and also he claims God is talking to him, but like not in like a pastor kind of way, but in like a schizophrenic kind of way. And she's like, he has a gun. I'm like, I don't really want to, confront him at the house because I don't know what he's gonna do. He's just lore dropping like crazy just for no reason. And I was telling her about, because she also said that like she said he'd been diagnosed with ADHD. So I was letting her know that like ADHD people are like 8 times more likely to be schizophrenic than the average person. So like it's not ridiculous that could be the case. At least he certainly is higher risk than most. And then my CIT, she was talking about like, she was like, yeah, I have a strained relationship with my brother. My sister hasn't talked to him going on 5 years now. I didn't talk to him for about 2 years, and it's been on and off the last 3 years. And she's like, he's threatened the life of both of my sons before because they don't put up with his shit. He doesn't like that. He can't bully them. Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, shit. So
yeah, that's my favorite part about like working with, like, when you have such an age range of people you work with, is just the crazy lore. I got a sad one time. I was working with this guy. He's old enough to be my grandfather.
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, you remind me of my grandson. And I was like, oh yeah, how old is he? He's like, oh, he's 26, or he would be 26. He died, and I was like,
oh shit.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yeah, that was a sad one.
not ideal. Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
I have,
And the lore drops are way more enjoyable than the random racism that they just let loose sometimes.
Oh my. Oh yeah. No, my what do you call it? My CIT. She's an older woman and she's been in Florida all her life, so her political leanings are quite clear. So yeah, sometimes there is like she'll say something and she'll be like, "Now I'm not prejudiced," but it's like if you gotta preface it with that, you're probably a little prejudiced. But yeah, like you said, like every once in a while you'll hear the most racist thing leave somebody's mouth, and you're like, well, I really didn't. Like I wasn't ready.
Too.
I wasn't ready, Frank. Well, yeah, because to them, that's not what it is.
Yeah.
They don't. A lot of the private just don't realize what they're saying is what they're saying. But like,
I was in a car with one guy. Well, it was a couple guys, but the guy that was driving, like, what's his name? Shibuzi, the one that had the bar song.
Yeah.
I think I even told this one, but like as the song is on, he just goes, "Hey, did you know he was a?"
He was. You want to run that by me again, partner?
I was just sitting in the back looking around, like, hey, what the fuck's going on?
He was, huh? He was a huh?
What?
You would finish that sentence? Oh my God, reminds me. I saw somebody. This former NFL player, Kyron Samuels. I think he was a day 3 pick in like 2018. He's a running back. I think he was a running back. He what do you call it? Somebody had. It was a video of like all of Bryce Young's throws from a clean pocket or whatever, and Kyron Samuels was like, "I can't say what I want to say about 17, who is Xavier Legette," and somebody else said Shabuzi with a sub 4.4, and then there was a girl who was like, "Yo, are you allowed to say this? is this allowed?" But. No, I thought that was pretty fun. Shabuzi with a sub 4.4 for Xavier Legette. I thought that was awesome. But shout out to Shabuzi. That song was number 1 for a long time. Good for him. Wow. I think the song's perfectly fine. I don't have any issues with it.
I like the vibe.
I hate when bad songs stay on the top of the charts for that shit's annoying. But that song's perfectly fine. I don't have an issue with it.
I like it. Not. However many weeks number 1.
Yeah, I would never put it on myself, but like if it's just on around, like I'm not gonna be bothered by the fact that.
You got to think like. I feel like people's favorite songs usually there's something more personal to it, but for a song to be liked by that many people, usually it's gonna be scaled back.
It has to be more like.
Because the whole vibe is just like, hey, we're going to the bar after work,
and we're getting tipsy, and and it's nice, it's fine. Yeah, no problem with it.
Yeah. All right.
So. Yeah, I was gonna say finally. That's the longest we've ever spent on one. I'm thinking like we haven't done the third one yet, have we?
Because since we don't have like real main segments, it's like fuck it, we're just gonna let shit go where it goes.
Yeah.
All right. If you were guaranteed honest responses to any 3 questions, who and what would you ask?
Oh my.
Let's do. You don't have to do all 3 to one person. Let's.
That is heavy. That is heavy. That's. Shit, 3 honest answers. Knew like lasso of truth. You knew for sure. God damn.
This isn't it, but going up to Ted Cruz being like, "Are you the Zodiac Killer?" We need to know.
Okay, first, I'm asking JD Vance if he killed the Pope. No question about it. That's number 1. Right. First question, I'm asking JD Vance if he's the Antichrist. But definitely, one way or another, I'm gonna know if he killed the Pope. Shout out my dog Francis, rest in peace. I also started a White Sox franchise the other day. Shout out Pope Leo, Southside. But I got 2 more for you. So yeah, first one definitely JD Vance Pope. Second one. Fuck it, I'm asking OJ if he did it.
If we open it up to,
or I'll say,
are we opening this up to all time? People all time,
absolutely. Fuck it, yeah,
shit.
We're in the wrong picture, yo. Yeah, okay, hang on.
I'm asking Lee Harvey if he was the only shooter, or at least
no question.
What compelled him? Like, was the CIA involved?
Yeah.
I'll ask. We'll count that as 1. I don't know how I'd word it, but I'll count. That's 1.
You'll get a fully answered to that conundrum. I forgot OJ was dead. I guess I can't. Yeah, you're right. I have to open it all the time for that to be the case. So I probably will do something else there instead because I'm definitely leaving in the JD Vance kill the Pope.
Did you kill the Pope?
Hey, buddy, did you kill the Pope? God, they're kind of options, but yeah, no, I like the Lee Harvey Oswald one for sure. Oh, I'm definitely talking to the damn Mandalay Bay shooter, see if he acted alone, because it's not physically possible for him to have acted alone. I want to know who else was. Like, another thing is, like, is that also CIA?
Mandalay Bay. I don't remember that one.
That was, like, like, in Vegas, he was, like...
No, never mind. I've heard about that. I just always hear referred to as the Vegas one, yes.
I knew somebody who was there, a friend of my mom's. She and her husband were there because it was a concert venue or like a festival or something that was going on. Once the shots got fired, her husband got shot in the shoulder and she just ran away. And mind you, they were still together like several years later. And I'm thinking like, dude, if I got shot and my wife just ran away, didn't want to help me out, nothing. If I survive, I'm never speaking to you again. Like I can't. Nah, I can't do it. So, fuck that beach. No, I couldn't believe it.
That's a great one. Because I hear about that one all the time. It's like the amount of ammunition he would have had to carry up to the hotel.
Yeah,
everything.
And, that doesn't look suspicious to you at all. That he's just got all this shit with him coming up. This like
giant duffel bags, just
800 pounds of gear going up this like. Be fucking for real here.
Yeah. What happened? What was going on around that time? Like, what would that have been distracting from? I don't even remember what period of time it was.
It's a great question.
Was it something election based? Was it something like Black Lives Matter? Was it big at the time? What was going
on?
No,
this was back. This was a bit further back. I think Mandalay Bay was like early mid 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. So.
Really? Let me look up when this was.
It could have been election season, maybe.
What, Vegas shooting?
Let's look up Mandalay Bay shooting. It'll pop up.
Here we go. Let's see. If it's this one, it's 2017.
Oh shit, that was recent. Was it that?
Yeah. Yeah, in the Mandalay Bay Hotel.
Okay.
He fired more than 1,000 rounds, killing 60 people, wounding at least 413 others. Yeah, this is not talked about as much as it should be with these numbers.
Yeah.
Is this podcast going to get taken down? The ensuing panic brought the total number of injured to approximately 867.
Yeah.
About an hour later, he was found dead in his room from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yep, that always is going to...
Self-inflicted gunshot wound. Granted, I mean, people that do this sort of thing, they probably...
Yeah, that's on the table, but that's going to add fuel to the fucking...
But yeah, it will, yeah.
Deadliest mass shooting by a lone gunman in American history.
Lone gunman. That's the part I want to know.
Yeah.
That's why I was asking the question.
1,000 rounds?
In quick succession? Like, that's... Because you can't reload at all. If that's the case. You're just dropping one, getting another. It's always faster to switch to your sidearm than it is to reload. That's like rule number one. So, I don't know.
Oh, conspiracy theories. Yeah, that's definitely one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Damn, all I've asked is Lee Harvey. If he did it, you're asking him. If he did it alone.
What's another conspiracy theory I want to do? Those are the fun ones to do here. I gotta find out about the Jewish space lasers. Those are definitely not real. I don't need to find out about that. But
do we get? Is this? I'm assuming the questions we ask, like only we. Like I can't record somebody. I can't record a confession from somebody.
Yeah, no, you could tell people, but they nobody would ever believe you necessarily. Yeah. I just want to know for myself about the.
Hold on. I'm just gonna Google most popular conspiracy theories because there's definitely like stuff I gotta be missing. Okay, the Earth, I'm not talking like Earth is flat. Like,
Give me some like real shit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
okay, here's popular mechanics. Moon landing. I totally think that was real.
Yeah.
Like, people have talked about that one so much. Like the collaboration across how many countries and different agencies to like not only fake it but to all at least say it happened or like not disprove it at this point.
Yeah.
The government killed JFK. That's what I was asking about. COVID-19 was engineered by the media. Earth has been sucked into a black hole.
So I would like to know the true origins. Let's get that straight. Let's get that squared away. True origins and like, was there anything planned about it, or was it just did it just happen willy nilly?
Disney created this one. I kind of believe, at least maybe the name. I don't know. Maybe they thought of the name after making the movie. While they made the movie, Disney created Frozen as a distraction, so that every time you Googled Disney Frozen, it was no longer about his head.
I think that's a happy coincidence, but even that's,
I think they had the movie, and then as they were brainstorming names, they were like, we could kill two birds with one stone if we do this.
Well, but if people are looking up Disney Frozen, like, you wouldn't be looking that up anyways unless somebody already told you about his head being frozen. So it's like you're already privy to that information. You could just look up Walt Disney head frozen, and you'll find what you're looking for instead of the film. So, not like you're never gonna find what you're searching for there. I don't know.
The Denver International Airport is Illuminati's headquarters.
See, that's absurd. Like, that's some cool shit. I don't know who you'd even have to ask about that, though.
The Illuminati leads to a conspiracy. I guess whoever... I would assume the head of the airport would have to...
Mr. CEO of Illuminati, could you confirm that the Denver airport is your primary base of operation?
The Illuminati leads to a conspiracy rabbit hole that we're not going to delve too far into, except when it comes to the Denver International Airport. Many Illuminati believers are convinced it's the secret group's headquarters. The airport has embraced the rumors by poking fun at it, but that hasn't stopped people from believing secret tunnel and lizard lairs lurk beneath the building.
That's kind of awesome that they're playing into the bit. I always respect that. Like,
is that the airport with the blue horse outside?
You mean the Bronco?
I guess.
I don't know. No.
It's like a blue horse. It's got like red eyes, and people are like, "That's like a demon horse."
That's their Illuminati.
Hollow Earth, flat Earth.
Hollow Earth is fucking insane. Sorry, that's no, like, gravity wouldn't work if the Earth was hollow. That's just
Bigfoot is real.
I mean, give me some real solid footage, but sure.
We've all seen the two pictures, right? The two maps. One is Bigfoot sightings, and like where its dots completely overlap with like furries.
Yeah.
Or like where
furries are very hairy gay men. Yeah.
The Nazis had a secret base in Antarctica.
I don't think that's insane, but I also think that's like, the kind of supervillain shit you'd expect from them. I don't think there's much merit to that. Not impossible, but I wouldn't say it's likely.
Bill Gates is making fake snow. What is this one? With extreme weather conditions occurring across the United States in 2021, TikTokers stoked the fires on a Bill Gates conspiracy theory that he was creating fake snow that burns instead of melts. I remember seeing that part.
Pookie's at the plate right now, by the way, if you were wondering.
Oh, Amelia Earhart was eaten by crabs?
The horseshoe crabs, yeah. It's not a conspiracy, that's just true. No, I'm so hungry I could eat a...
5G causes cancer and COVID.
That's whatever.
A solar flare caused the Titanic to sink.
That's cool, but I don't know, icebergs is pretty...
Let's see.
Like, plus it was well documented that the production of the Titanic was rushed, and that's what led to, issues with the hull. So
let me read this quick blurb. Lucy was a study recently discovered that the northern hemisphere was experiencing a moderate to severe magnetic storm on the night of the ship's collision. Similar solar flares are known to cause power outages on Earth and could have affected the ship's radar and radio rescue signals. So I don't think it's saying like the flare fucking shot out and hit the fucking
Right.
boat, but it's, I guess they're saying it fucked with everything else that caused them to hit the. That's not really. That doesn't sound like a like. There's no conspiracy there. It's just like a theory. It's just a theory, but not a conspiracy one. But Sirens. Queen Elizabeth I was a man?
What?
Some believe that Queen Elizabeth I died as a child, and to prevent the end of the royal line, she was replaced with a young boy. This theory is said to explain why the ruler remained chaste throughout her reign. Okay.
Maybe she just wasn't about that life.
My first thought was she's probably a lesbian. Like nothing was open.
Brett Beatty fly out, fortunately, to end the ending. It's tragic. Yeah, like what if she just wasn't with it? That shit happened. I don't know. It's not impossible that she just didn't really fuck with dudes like that.
Yeah,
or even if she did, she just never really found someone that she was like that's my dog.
That's my dog for real.
My dog for real. It's not ridiculous. I don't know. What was my third one again? I totally forgot.
Dude, I haven't. I named one, and we went down a different rabbit hole.
Yeah, fuck. There was obviously I got the Mandalay Bay shooter, but there was another conspiracy you mentioned that I just decided to go with. I don't know.
Oh, the Large Hadron Collider. When it switched on, we like shifted realities a little bit, explaining the Mandela effect and why everything's weird.
The Mandela effect existed before the Hadron Collider, though. So I don't.
Bush made up WMD's argument to invade Iraq so he could get revenge for his dad. I never hear that second part as much.
I mean, yeah, he definitely did make up the WMD argument, but I've never heard that he did it for George H.W. So, interesting.
I mean, I don't even know if it was necessarily him. It might have just been good old Dick, the real mastermind.
Yeah. Shout out Dick for real. That's what I'm saying. I don't think I have much else, honestly, for asking. Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, did JD Vance kill the Pope? Did the Mandalay Bay shooter act alone?
I'll ask Lee Harvey Oswald if the CIA did it.
I gotta know if Alexander the Great really died from butt sex. Because they were unstoppable until AIDS stopped them. Because, they were Greek. What did Greeks do? They had gay sex. It was the thing to do at the time. Especially if, no doctors around, you're just at your encampment. Long nights, there's no women around. You're laying a couple of Athenian twinks every now and again if you're Alexander the Great. You got concubines. Absolutely, you got concubines. So, I don't know. That'll be my third one. I'll ask. I gotta know how he died for sure because he was like 20 years old when he.
All right, I'll ask Lee Harvey. I'll ask OJ if he did it. My mom thinks it was his son.
That's another one I've heard is that it was his son and he helped him.
Yeah, he said, "Hey,
and that's why he was still.
You go this way. I'll get everyone's attention this way."
Yeah, and that's why he still almost killed himself. Like when the police caught him. So like OJ wasn't innocent, but but in this scenario he himself didn't do it. It was his son, which I think there's a lot of evidence pointing towards his son being the guy. It's totally possible.
Yeah, that's a fun one. So I'll ask OJ if he did it, and then I'll ask Wolf Glick if he really does hate Incineroar. He has a love-hate relationship.
He loves that Pokemon. He wouldn't use it. Best player in the world needs to rely on the strong. I don't believe that. He just likes it. It's okay.
Like there's some videos where he's like, I hate this thing. I think it gets an unfair treatment. And then in another one, he's like, I respect this Pokemon. Although the most recent one I watched, oh no, Incineroar was on that team. It just wasn't the focus, so I forgot about it. But it was on that Paris Trap team.
Do you know what time it is, Brayden?
Yes, I do know what time it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know when we started doing this segment, but for a long while,
Yeah,
we've had a segment here on the pod. But ladies and gentlemen, I think that segment has run its course, and today will be the last day we do it here on the pod. It's time to lay to rest Wavelength.
It's had a good run.
It's had a great run.
And well, it's going to continue. We got a banger loaded up where we have pre-thought questions for the first time ever.
To lay it to rest, we're going to do it one last time and send it off properly. This was a mutual decision. We actually pretty much had this discussion last pod, if you want to hear the flow of conversation that led to this long-running bit, this long-running segment here to be done with. But usually we don't think too much ahead for these pods. It's usually kind of off the dome and Wavelength, coming up with all these questions. We've asked all we can ask, we feel.
Yeah.
So I think it's time to lay it to rest. I'll close my eyes, and you'll flash out a number. I have a theme for my questions. I think people should be able to get it very quickly.
Yeah.
But I've got a theme. So go ahead.
My final number that I will ever select for this segment has been chosen.
Okay. Give me a gas station snack.
Oh, reliable. Give me.
Okay, it's not 10 or 1.
Oh, you know. It's a lot of them. I just went to the gas station the other day because I got some coffee. Went to Wawa. Shout out Wawa, same Wawa you, me, and Gabe went to.
Dope time.
Yes, sir. Great place. Yeah, I love it.
It's fun. My first and only ever time being there.
Damn.
Okay,
give me some. We're gonna go with barbecue Lays.
Oh, barbecue Lays. I'm feeling 6. There's better stuff. I prefer an oven-baked chip as well. I don't know how you feel. But barbecue Lays, for like a regular Lays, like that's a top-tier flavor. Maybe number 1 for those. But still, like a Lays chip, 6, maybe 7. I'm feeling 6 right now. Give me a fast food restaurant.
You're rolling out all the classics today.
Yeah, I decided to roll out all the classics. The ones that we, when we couldn't think of anything, we would go to. These were always in the back pocket. I want to, I want to send them off with the pillars of this segment.
Yeah. All right. So you said fast food restaurant.
Yeah, fast food restaurant.
Fast food restaurant. Let's go to McDonald's for this.
I was literally thinking that one. Okay, I feel like it's 6.
Go to McDonald's.
I feel like it's 6. Like McDonald's is like almost the face of fast food restaurants, but it's actually like okay. I don't think it's as bad as some people try to make it out to be. But it also shouldn't be like the number 2, sometimes number 1. It goes back and forth with like Chick-fil-A fast food restaurant.
I think it's more popular than Chick-fil-A.
I don't know what the statistic was. I don't know if it was revenue or what it was, but like Chick-fil-A was number 1 at some point in like some major category.
It's one of the most beloved, certainly. Like it's no question about that.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Yeah, 6 feels that felt like a really good 6. Give me a soda.
Cold Light Soda. Don't like Minnesota. Give me a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Okay, I've actually been going to that recently as like a because it's probably the best diet soda if I had to guess. I'm not experimenting too much with diet sodas, but that's a really good one. But it is still a diet soda. 6, maybe we could be 7, but 6 still feels right. That's like top tier diet soda, but I don't care for diet soda, so it can only max out so much. But yeah, Diet Dr. Pepper. While I've been trying to eat less calories, consume less calories, Diet Dr. Pepper's been a good one to go to. Okay. Shit. What are other staples we go to? Give me. Okay. Give me a Pokemon.
Ooh. Okay, that is what I thought.
Bye.
Give me Squirtle.
So it's 7.
Give me Squirtle.
Okay, so it's got to be 7 because it would not match. That's the only thing that makes sense is if you're going off Pokedex number, because otherwise Squirtle's like a 9, and I think you'd have it higher than 7. Maybe maybe you wouldn't have it as high as I do, but I feel like the lowest you could go is 8. But since you said since everything else you said, it's got to be off Pokedex. It's got to be 7. Perchance it's something else, but I don't think so. All right, final question for me.
The last one.
Give me a number 1 through 10.
I am always been a big fan of the number 7. I like the way it looks. Like it's like whenever I play a sports game, it's always like the jersey number I usually give myself. Really? It's also Brett Beatty's jersey number, and he's my favorite player on the Mets. Go Mets, baby!
Your favorite baseball player of all time?
Yeah, no, genuinely, yeah, Brett Beatty.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
yeah. So, big fan of the number 7. It's never really changed. It's probably the number Cam Ward would have worn if Warren Moon didn't give him number 1 because it's what he wore in high school. So,
we'll never know.
We'll never know. Titans have had a couple failed quarterbacks who've worn 7 at some point. Malik Willis, and then of course Will Levis wore it in college. So, not ideal in that regard. But in general, I like the look of the number 7. I like the aesthetics of the number 7. We'll go with number 7.
Okay, then my final answer is going to be number 7.
Yeah. That's where we are. Give me a number 1 through 7. It's fucking insane. Or 1 through 10, excuse me.
I thought it'd be a funny little last question.
All right, I'm gonna shut my eyeballs while you give me the final number that we will.
There's a lot of pressure for it.
Did I take one of yours, by the way?
No, you did not. I was about to say.
Okay, so you have a full.
I had 3 numbers in my head, and I was like,
I didn't take anything.
If Jacob takes one, it helps me narrow it down, and then he didn't.
Sorry.
Okay, I picked a number. It has been shown. There was pressure on that. There was some weight to that.
All right, my lead-off question, and I'm glad you didn't end up using this one, because I'm sure you knew I wanted it.
I was thinking about it, but then I was like, he needs to be the one.
Oh, reliable NFL wide receivers.
Oh, I should have. Okay. God, where did... This, I hate... Because I fucking hate this question. And you know what? You know what's funny? I'm thinking about a player that I think this would be his third time being an answer. And it might be a different number each time. I don't remember what he was the other time.
Don't tell me it's fucking Jalen Tolbert again, dude. We can't keep picking Jalen Tolbert for these fucking...
I want to go... I think it's what came to mind, man. Give me Jalen Tolbert.
Let it fly. Let it fly. It's tradition. This is the we're doing the send-off. He's been involved.
The only thing that would match this would if it was Jalen Waddle, but I gotta go with Jalen Tolbert.
All right, so we're not looking at a super high number here. We're looking at like a 4, I guess, to start off. Maybe a 3. I don't think he'd be a 5. I think we're looking at a 4. I don't think he'd be a 2. That feels mean. He's a 3 or 4. So I don't know. I know where we're at. I think I know where we are. I think that's a good number to end this off on too. So it's a good way to start. I don't know if we've ever asked this question, and I honestly can't believe it. A sound. Give me a sound.
We've never asked that.
We've asked smell like once or twice. We've never asked sound, and I feel like that's such an obvious feeler. Because if I said fork on a plate, that's an easy one, right? Like, I don't know, but whatever. Anywho, give me a sound.
Let's go with Let's go with the sound of dropping a fork and like it when it hits the ground.
Yeah, not ideal. Oh my god, I dropped this water bottle this morning. I don't know if you can see that dent right there, right?
What brand is that?
Mainstays.
Oh, okay.
You see that dent right there, right?
Yeah.
I elbowed this water bottle. It landed on my kitchen floor. Loudest fucking sound I've ever heard in my life. Good God. So one thing I don't like about stainless steel water bottles is it sounds like a fucking explosion whenever they drop on hard surfaces.
Right.
So you went with fork dropping. It's not great. It's not a great sound. I don't love it.
Yeah, fork dropping.
The only song you can listen to for the rest of your life. Just this song, and it's the only thing you can listen to for the rest of your life. At this number, what would be a representation of this number as a song, the only song you could listen to for the rest of your life?
Damn. That's a great question for like when you have a 10 or a 1, which this could be.
The options are all obviously still on the table. Haven't narrowed it down the slightest.
The Mario Bros. Theme song.
Interesting. There's worse songs, but I feel like that one would get... every song would get annoying.
Every song would get annoying.
That one would very much get annoying. Okay. I don't think my answers changed very much. I still think it's a full run.
What makes you say that?
Just a hunch. Okay. Since we are saying goodbye today, I do have my last couple of questions are also somewhat in that vein.
Okay.
Last words to hear from a loved one.
I'm trying to think. Maybe something like, I guess I'll miss you.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. All right, now this one.
Okay. Last question.
Last question. Give me a place to die. This is where this segment dies, right here. So, throwing that out there. But give me a place to die.
This chair while podcasting with you.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. I feel fairly confidently with the information that I've been provided that I think this final number ever being guessed on the pod. Give me 4.
It was 4, baby. Final time we do the segment, we both get it.
And you know what? I knew Squirtle was number 7, but I just had to double check it because I couldn't possibly let that be the hang-up. Because if I said Squirtle and it was like something else, and you were like, "Oh, it's this," because I knew it was grass, fire, water. But if I got that wrong and Squirtle was like 4, and you were like, "Oh, well, it's okay. It's easy. It's just 4," and you guessed it wrong, I wouldn't have forgiven myself.
So, a scandal in the segment would be hilarious.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be very on brand.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't have liked
I was just thankful that neither of us said the number prematurely.
Yep, that's always good. Is it that time?
It is that time, ladies and gentlemen. Top 3 of the week. Wavelength questions. We're not done with the send-off, ladies and gentlemen. We will be looking back at the best this segment had to offer.
The breast this segment had to offer. Who's going first?
You go first. You can go first.
Okay. Funny enough, all 3 of these have been mentioned already. So that's fine. Number 3 for me. I wrote down cold like Minnesota. Give me a soda. Give me a soda was number 3. That was a standard, usually a pretty good feeler because if you said any kind of root beer, I knew we were looking at an 8 through a 10.
I'm gonna co-sign that as my number 3.
Dr. Pepper was always, you'd know. There was some like Sprite. You knew that was a higher number.
One of the ones we disagreed on most was Coke. When Coke was used for this.
Yeah, you were like pretty so about it. I was pretty high for me. So yeah, that was. But for the most part, we were in lockstep. I think on this one, it was a good barometer.
It was a great. If your back was against the wall, hey, pick a soda.
Yeah, pick a soda.
I'll co-sign that as my number 3. So then you're at number 2.
All right, let me hold a gas station snacks. This one might have been the best barometer in terms of like. I don't think we ever were not on the same page on gas station snacks. I remember fucking Bugles. We felt the same way about. Like,
I'm gonna be annoying. I'm gonna co-sign this as my number 2 as well.
Fine.
All I really had locked in was my number 1. But
you already know what I got.
Mine's different, so we will be differentiating there. But gas station, because you could also kind of dress it up as well. Like I feel like we would always kind of add like a pretzel, but it's not that hot, but it's also not this. Like
also play around a little bit, or like pizza, but it's been left out there for a couple hours. It's not.
You could dress it up a little bit more.
Yeah, this one had a little variety to it.
Yeah, and. We've all been on road trips. We've all hit up a gas station at a time of need. Like, it's a situation we've all been in.
Yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and share your number 1?
My favorite question.
My least favorite question.
It was the one I asked most often.
Mm-hmm.
It was, the one I needed. This was my ace in the hole. If I'm having a tough go of it, this is what I'm going to do to lock in. NFL wide receivers. This is the Jalen Tolbert special, the Jalen Waddle special.
This is the Jalen, dude.
Who were probably mentioned in this. There's a lot of NFL players, especially wide receivers.
Jalen Brooks?
Fuck it. Yeah, a lot of Jalen's here. You know the vibes. You know how it is. So, yeah. NFL wide receivers. That's it. Sir, you're number 1. What we staring at?
So this last one is like a family of questions, but a Gen blank Pokemon. Naming a Pokemon from a generation, I feel like that was always a good, reliable one.
It was a heater, yeah.
You could, 9 different generations to pick from, so you had a little bit of variety there in terms of it being different from something you've asked the previous week, but still being in the same vein.
Yeah.
Quick Google, and you're able to just quickly scroll through all the Pokemon, so your options could be shown to you very quickly. If it's like for me, if it's a generation I'm not too familiar with, I can kind of quickly glance around. And Pokemon is like the vibe of a Pokemon comes out very strongly when you see it. So for most people, they're favorites and having opinions. Battle prowess is cool, but it really does just come down to how much you like a Pokemon, just what it looks like. So it's real easy to just go through and look.
I saw this thing the other day, something about not wanting to date someone if their favorite Pokemon is the wrong Pokemon. And you know what?
If you like a Pokemon that's only for psychopaths or sociopaths.
There's situations where I think that apply. Like, again, if I ever met somebody whose favorite Pokemon was Watchog, that's the Antichrist. That's how I'll know.
Or just any guy whose favorite Pokemon is Gardevoir, Lopunny, anything in that vein.
Any woman whose favorite Pokemon is Entei, I know what you are. I know what you are.
Lucario for women.
I'm not going to tell, or anybody for that matter. I'm not going to tell you need to be ashamed of yourself, but I know what you are, and that's okay. I know what you are.
I just want you to know that I know. I'm not saying anything else. I just want you to know that I know.
Wrong with it. I just need you to know that I know what you are. But nah. Yeah. Some other ones of that ilk, But in general, no, you're right about just the that was always a good barometer too. Usually for getting that one. So
yeah,
I liked it.
That was my favorite. That was always my favorite.
The Mets haven't homered in like a week and a half, and I thought we just hit one. No, it was like just short of the wall, and we had 2 runners in scoring position. Okay. I was so, like we've had so many over the last few games that are like a few feet away. That just didn't go home. They ended up being flyouts, and don't look at me like that.
This fucking guy.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Go Mets. It's about the Mets. Go Mets. Yeah, it's about the Mets.
But now it's time for we went from the staple of top 3 to maybe the secondary staple. What you been on, brother? What you been on?
Well, I've been watching the Mets, and
also that's my opinion. Top 3 or what you been on? What do you have as number 1?
Top 3, I think, is more iconic.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy. I think typically we have. I don't know.
They're close.
I like them both.
Obviously, they're close. They're the 2 big ones like this. Those will never go away.
That's why they backload the pod. Yeah. That's why they're here at the end, because we're finishing strong.
Yeah, those 2 will never retire them.
I guess because there's a lot more variance with what we've been on. Because sometimes neither of us have a lot, whereas top 3 is always something.
We always got to bring something, yeah. Because there's plenty of weeks where I'm here, like, dude, I've just been working on videos and work, like that's all I've done.
Oh, and there's plenty of this week. I don't have no good music came out last week. I don't have nothing to report in that regard. Oh, I guess I finished Andor.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Damn good show.
Yeah, my parents were watching it.
Might even be the best ever.
Best show ever.
It's up there. It's way up there. It's definitely. There's a reason it's the only show ever with 5 episodes at a 9.5 or higher on IMDb. And it was only 24 episodes. That's over 1/5 of the show at a 9.5 or higher on IMDb.
Well, straight too. There might even be a couple more episodes that just weren't connected.
Yeah, and then not to mention what do you call it? I watched Rogue One again after finishing it because the finale of Andor bleeds right into the beginning of Rogue One. Yeah, it's still awesome. It still bangs. In fact, it's even better now that there's more context behind some of the things that Cassian says.
Dude, somebody said watching the end of Andor into Rogue One into A New Hope is awesome. But it is funny how the whole entire galaxy gets way dumber in the course of a week.
Yeah, that's fair. I saw that one too.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Mention, everybody starts getting the 70s haircuts when you get to A New Hope, which it is what it is. But yeah, another still an all timer, by the way. A New Hope is such a if the rest of Star Wars never existed and like Star Wars is all we got, great film.
Cult classic.
Yeah.
We would probably still see it on top influential movies list.
Absolutely. It would be even if we never got anything else from the franchise, it would still be heralded as obviously it wouldn't be what it is today, certainly, but people would still love it.
Is there a point in Star Wars that you would be like, all right, here from not the release order timeline, not chronological, but is there a point where you point at and you go, if we never got anything after this point, that would be better?
Yeah. Well,
it's tough. It's really tough for you. To me, it's a lot easier because I haven't seen Andor.
Release order?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. I have a friend who's been telling me because we've been talking in the group chat a lot about there's not a lot of sequel respecters in this group chat. I am of course not one of them.
Go ahead. I really hate the sequels. I don't even have anything unique
hate them
to
on
say.
Principle. One of them pointed out the other day, in The Force Awakens, General Hux gives the order to blow up the core worlds, destroy the Republic, blow up these several planets, right? And now, and then in the last film, this guy's a resistance spy. Space Hitler is the resistance spy. He just blew up the Republic.
Yeah.
All the core planets.
Well, because that leads back into the biggest problem, that it wasn't one cohesive piece. It clearly the vision and ideas changed. Because the prequels were hated at first, but that was a cohesive piece that because of that, it really allows the younger generation who saw it as kids to love it, and then you kind of grow on it. And then the supplemental material with Clone Wars that enhances it. But the sequels will never have that level because it's just a mess.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah, you can't. Baby, get down, baby. Oh, shit! I think I just touched her chocolate starfish. Whoopsie daisies! I'm gonna wash my hands when we're done here. But I don't think I've got too much else to. I've been playing MLB The Show, of course. I've been playing a lot of. Been starting the franchise mode up. Scouting in that game is pretty interesting, in the sense that it is a bit difficult sometimes. But I just had a draft class last night that was really good. But I hit one today as well, where I just got nothing but elite pitching. And now I had the second overall pick because I'm playing as the Angels. And I had the second.
What are you trying to do? Get Mike Trout a chip?
No, I traded him actually for prospects.
Whoa!
He's 33.
That's good for him.
Yeah, no.
Where'd you send him?
The Guardians, and they got a decent squad over there. So and he was the missing piece. So he can chase a title over there in Cleveland. And I got some prospects with some really good. What do you call it? You can't trade draft picks in baseball. So you're only the only thing he's worth is young players with high potential, and you just have to hope you can develop them. Because he's expensive, he's on year one of a 6-year contract, and he's already 33. So
is he the biggest? Is he the biggest non-injury related what if in sports? People say this guy might be the GOAT.
He's been injured quite a bit too.
Well, yeah, but in terms of even with those injuries, it's not a kind of D Rose.
Yeah, certainly the funniest shit was when Ohtani was on the Angels, and it was Mike Trout hit 4 homers today, and Ohtani just did something that hasn't been done since Hilbert Dumblefuck in 1902, and the Angels have lost 5-8.
Yeah.
It's what are they gonna do together? It takes more than a couple guys.
Well, it's insane that the Angels possibly at one time had 2 of the top 3 greatest players of all time, maybe the 2 greatest players of all time, and did nothing.
I don't think Trout's quite that high.
I think ask Gabe. I think I've heard that a lot. That he.
Maybe. I don't know. He will. I think he'll be passed by probably a couple other people. I think Aaron Judge will probably pass him. Aaron Judge has to pick it up in the playoffs. He's gonna pass it. But granted, it's not not like Trout has a bunch of playoff success. Not his fault, but
Yeah.
Aaron Judge's batting average does fucking plummet in the postseason. So that's like, greatest regular season hitter in the league right now, one of the greatest ever. Hit the fucking ball when it counts too, though. But I got the player I wanted went first overall, and he was a pitcher who I drafted a really good pitcher. In fact, the pitcher I did up drafting second overall was a better player now, but his potential was 4 points lower. The pitcher I wanted had 93 potential. The pitcher I got had 89 potential. Still really good. An 89 overall pitcher eventually will be totally fine for me. And I also drafted another pitcher with 89 overall potential. Now, another thing you can do in this game is you can send one of your scouts to go discover prospects. Easiest cheese in this game to get good pitchers, go scout pitchers and do it internationally. There is always at least one, usually multiple, Dominican pitchers that just throw absolute fucking paint. And like every single time, if you've got a guy with good discovery, send him to scout. That's the first thing I do every week one of scouting. I send him to go internationally and scout pitchers because there's always some fuck ass Dominican with a full roster of 5.
Me no black, me Dominican.
Yeah. I've seen that video. That was Carlo Malis that did that one.
It's just always the number one commented thing on any video with a Dominican in it now.
What do you call it? There's always at least one Dominican who just throws nothing but paint. I'm telling you, it's cheese, absolute cheese. There's always a couple. So I got one in the third round. I got a closing pitcher and a relief pitcher, both with pretty good potential as well. So I got 2 future starters. I got my future ace and then probably my number 2. I've got a future elite closing pitcher and a future elite relieving pitcher. So I've got the pitching staff is the core of it is going to be secure eventually once they develop in the minors for a bit. But I had a draft class last night that was like the lowest potential. I have a picture of it. I sent it to the group chat, I remember, but I have a picture. Let me find it. So I drafted, and this was a pitcher. It was 95 overall potential pitcher. 95, 83, 86, 79, 85, 89 were the potential ratings for these players that I had drafted. So great draft class. Very pleased with it. Some scouting cheese that I've learned. It's been helpful. But yeah, overall, it's fun. It's probably the franchise mode kind of plays pretty similar to how 2K plays. You've played 2K, right? Oh, okay. Well, the way it works is fairly similar. Scouting works similarly. I think I think it's better in the show, and I think the only issue with the game, the trade logic is terrible. Trade logic is absolutely awful in the show. Like, there will be bad prospects getting traded for like elite players who are like maybe in their early 30s. It's kind of funny, but yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the best sports games, probably the best sports game, at least that I've played in terms of like, it's still not it's still a sports game. It's not perfect. It's a good game though.
I've heard it's good. No, I mean I've heard it's good.
Yeah, you gotta like baseball to really get the full experience, but yeah, it's fun. I like it. That's probably about it for what I've been on. I don't think I've been on anything new other than that. So
let's see. So what I've been on, I didn't get to catch all of it, just mostly like the fourth quarter when it didn't matter. But I did see the Dallas Wings opening game. Paige, she's got to, she needs, a little bit of time to adapt to the big leagues here. She had like 10 points, 13 points, which, for her is disappointing. But
for a rookie debut,
very first game. So, yeah. But the Wings also just got whomped. The Stars, the Dallas Stars, are in the Western Conference Finals for like the third or fourth straight year. Rematch of last year's, which they lost against the Edmonton Oilers. This year will be different. I promise that.
Yes, sir.
Dallas, dude, it really looks like, I really think they're gonna win it all. They're fucking nice. Best goalie in hockey right now, Jake Ottinger. He has like 100 more saves than any other goalie in the playoffs. Is that a comment about our defense? Possibly. But who gives a fuck? He's really good, and then you got, Mikko Rantanen, who we traded for during the season. He's been on a heater in the playoffs. Firstly, beating the team that traded him, not to us, but he got traded like twice this season. The team he started the season with. They traded him, beat him. But anyways, that's going on. I've been playing. I haven't been able to play as much as I want, but I've played a tad bit more of the Pokemon on Game Boy. Still having a good time, having a fun time. It's just hard finding the time to do it. And then I think that's it. I think that's it for me. If that's it for you.
All right. Yeah, I think that'll do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it for this one. As always, now next week's will be once again on this channel. So every Wednesday, hopefully, that should be about. That's the plan. Every Wednesday, hopefully at noon, the video will go up. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. And as always, keep gaming, and fuck Nico Harrison, and fuck Jerry Jones.
Deuces.